We at kibbutz Nir Oz, we are in a big sorrow. Our hearts are broken because we were the biggest peace fighters in the world. We fought for peace with the Palestinian people. And we got the worst hit of anyone here. Also for 8 hours, there were no army here. After 6.5 hours, 7 hours, Hamas terror was tired. As I told you, 80 kidnapped, 30 murdered. They destroyed 80% of our houses, our kindergarten, our kitchen, our supermarket. 25% of my kibbutz family members were kidnapped or were murdered. We were 400 people celebrating a holiday in the evening. No difference between 16 to 85. We all love to be together. We are a special community that loves peace, and we are still hoping for peace. We still have 14 hostages left in Gaza. There were always 2 tanks for at least 10 years to protect us. Somehow those tanks were not there the 7th of October. And may all our hostages that were murdered rest in peace. And may all our 14 hostages be back home soon, and all 59 that are still with Hamas. And let's hope for ceasefire and peace. I left kibbutz Nir Oz 10 hours before Hamas terror entered. And then I started my duty at 6:30 in the morning when all the rockets started to come all over Israel and here. And in this area here, we've been living under rockets attacks for 20 years. Once we had in this area 800 rockets in 24 hours. I would wonder what America would do if Mexico would have thrown so many rockets. I don't think that Mexico would still be there. And we have a lot of patience here, and we live under this fear for 20 years. And after half an hour, it wasn't just about rockets. It was also to try to keep them alive and keep them safe in their hearts for Hamas terror. They say there were over 500 terrorists that entered kibbutz Nir Oz. And we had 10 young men that went out to fight. And no army came. So most of these 10 guys are not with us anymore, and may they rest in peace. Shiri's mother and father, Margit and Yossi, they came also from Argentina to give their 2 daughters a better future. Shiri, that decided to grow up her children here, Dana, in another place not far from here. They grow up with my son in the kindergarten. And I was sure that Ariel and Kfir is alive, that they took them through the tunnels by the Philadelphia to Egypt. And this was what I told Dana, her sister, all the time. But this wasn't the story. Yarden, he was kidnapped first. He told them, take only me. Then another group came and kidnapped Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. They came back a month ago. Thursday it was the month when we were back by their grave. They came back with Grandpa Oded Lifshitz. Me and my son, we went close to the border of Gaza to go after them with our car to say the last goodbye. Grandpa, Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. The whole country was out with the flags to give the last goodbye to these young little children and Shiri and Oded Lifshitz, that he was already the world's grandpa and the biggest peace fighter and human rights. This house belongs to Bracha Levinson. This was the whole road that I'm in charge of when we have rockets. that I called them in the morning to check that they are okay. As I told you this morning, it was not just about rockets. And her neighbor here, Hannah Katzir, that she was released and she was there with Grandpa Oded Lifshitz. He was changing her diapers and he fainted. They took him away from there. But then we knew that he was alive in Gaza, and Hannah Katzir came back. She got the announcement that her husband was murdered, and Elad Katzir, her son, was kidnapped. And if there would have been a hostage still in January, he would have been with us. And may he rest in peace. And may Hannah Katzir rest in peace. She died a few months ago after that her heart couldn't cope with the situation.